All right, I'm out to the rifle range today. Let me show you my setup here. This is where when the weather's nice, I like to come and test my pellet guns. I got a 25-yard range in my shop, but here I have, we have a pistol range, which works friggin' awesome for sighting in my pellet guns. I got a roof over my head here if I want, or I can shoot off there. We'll set our targets there. That's 25 yards, and they got it all marked out, man. 25, 20, 15, all the way down to 5 yards. And then all I can do is hop, skip, and a jump right over here, and I can drive my truck right up here. Got this beautiful bench, and then down there, see if we can zoom it in, is 100 yards. So it works friggin' awesome. So let me get all my stuff out, and we will get to sighting in and getting the Bulldog and see what it can do. All right, folks, before we get started, let's show you the setup we have here today. I brought out my lead sled. Now listen, if you're sighting in pellet guns that are of the break barrel kind, lead sled, not really the best of choice. You really need to let the gun go through its recoil action. But these PCP guns, they got a totally different recoil. They're more of a straightforward recoil like a rifle. And there isn't much of it, so you can use the scopes you want. Lead sled works really good. It gives me a good solid rest to make sure that I'm getting on target, because I really want to push the Bulldog to the capabilities of the gun. I don't want to be limited with my capabilities. I have tinkered with it a little bit, and we'll go through and talk about it in the review. Great consumer PCP gun. You know, it's a all right, I've taken my scope, I moved it up because I was shooting low. I was shooting, when I initially started, I was shooting probably 10 inches low. I cranked on the scope, I got it up. I was a hair under the bullseye, 2 shots. And now I shot a couple more. And let me tell you guys, and I know Crossman sends me these guns. It's free, it's a good time. You know, but I'm giving you my honest opinion. I don't give a shit. I would, if it was my own money and I wanted a badass big bore pellet gun that wasn't going to cost me thousands of dollars, I'll let you answer the question. Would you spend the money? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots. And I know we're only at 25 yards right now, but now let's move this back and let's see what we can do at 100. Totally impressed. Like I said, the gun's a little loud, but damn it, it does shoot. All right, guys, here we go. We backed up to the 100 yards. It's right here. I could have shot at 50, and I was gonna, and I thought, you know what, screw that. Normal guy would just jump right into 100 because he's overexcited. So we're still shooting the JSBs, Diablo Exacts, 81.02 grains. We're going to shoot 5 shots here. We're going to shoot a magazine full. We're going to see what it can do. I'm not going to change the sights or anything, so I know we're going to probably be really low. We'll do a little bit of this, and then we'll switch over and we'll shoot them Nosler hunting ones. But, you know, let's just see, because this is the pellet I'm going to shoot the most, obviously. And probably the average guy is going to shoot the most out of it. So I filled it up again. We're at 3,000 PSI. We're going to shoot a magazine full at 100 yards. And we're going to see what we can do. Pretty cool. You hear that, the gun go off, and then you wait. Punk. So I don't know how many feet per second it's going out here at 100 yards. It slows up a little bit. I can see the shit fly behind it, so it's hitting with some oomph. I mean, it's hitting with some power. And I think what's really going to be cool is it's holding on the target pretty good. I put the scope cam on here, and with these big pellets, I think we're going to see some awesome stuff. I think this is the last shot. Hope you're counting. All right. Yeah, when it's down to your last shot. Oh, we got low battery. Ain't that a bummer? It's down to your last shot. It won't let you cock. You'd have to remove the magazine. Load her up. 5 shot. Put her forward. You're good to go. So anyways, let's go down and see what we can do. That low battery, that kind of scary, ain't it? I'm too fat to be running down here 100 yards. That's why I can shoot. I can shoot and I can fight, but I can't run for shit. So here we go. I'm pretty excited to see what this can do. The one thing I like about this range is you can see I got trees on both sides. So, and I'm shooting from the north to the south, so that west wind doesn't bother me so much down in here. Right now, it's really pretty calm. We can see the pine needles moving a little bit. So even though I got a slighter breeze out there, here I'm doing good. So I wonder how much of a drop we got, and I wonder how much of a group we're holding. I would be happy with the Diablo pellets since they're 35 caliber, not 357 caliber. They're 9mm. I would be happy with a 2-inch or less group. I'm close to that. I do have one flyer. So here we go. I don't, it'll take some shooting. I don't think it's going to be a 100-yard sparrow gun. Definitely a 100-yard deer gun, definitely a 100-yard coyote gun. But here we go, here's the target. We're down probably 12, 14, 15 inches. But there's the group. And like I said, this is with 35 caliber pellets. So I'm happy with that. I might have to see what it does at 50. So let's move it up and see what we can do. And then I'm telling you, we'll shoot, I'll come back, I'll get it sighted in. And then what we'll do is we'll switch to the nozzlers. Oh, let me go over here. We'll switch to the nozzlers, which are made for this gun. And then we'll see what kind of accuracy we're getting out of that. And that's going to be a curious comparison. Like I said, I knew the JSBs. I wished Crossman or somebody would invest some time and some money. I don't think it would take much to make a 357 caliber pellet instead of 35 caliber pellet. I know that doesn't sound like a lot to most people, but when you're pushing pellets downrange, every little bit helps. These pellets are wobbly. They're, you know, it's not like shooting a rimfire or a rifle. It's got all that speed. It's inherently slower, so things happen. But let me get things going here. Let me get things sighted in, and then we'll shoot a group and we'll talk about it, and then we'll get out the nozzlers. All right, guys, I did a little bit of shooting. I probably shot 12 more times with the JSB match pellets, the 81 grains. I'm not getting, and it's at 100 yards, I'm not getting the group I like. But here's the thing. The pellets aren't made for this gun. These are 35 caliber. This is 357 caliber. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're shooting pellets and you're using air and we're trying to get something to do what we want it to work, you know? So it'd be like trying to shoot a 9mm through a 357, basically. So I'm going to shoot another group here, and I think I think the gun outperforms the JSB pellets. They're amazing at 25 yards, great plinker. When I'm going to get done here, we're going to go at 50 yards and see what it'll do. Maybe it's going to be a 50-yard gun with the JSB pellets. But then before I go to the 50 yards, I have 2 targets set down there, one on the left, one on the right. I'm going to shoot the JSB pellets at the left, and then I'm going to switch over to the Nosler pellets. These are 357. Crossman worked with Nosler to design this round for the gun. So we're going to see what kind of performance we get out of that at 100 yards. Now I know there's going to be a big drop. I mean, we're going to be shooting 145 grain rather than 81 grain. But again, it's really about the group. If I hold a tight group, I can adjust the scope to bring it on to target. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot the JSBs, 1 magazine full. Then I'm going to load the gun with air again, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to shoot the Nosler. So let's get started here. 5 shots, JSBs, and we'll see what they can do. One more. That was almost a bullseye. It's the closest I've gotten to the red yet. So anyways, we'll load this up with the JSBs. Let me go fill this gun with air, and we'll be right back. All right, we got the gun full of gas. We're loading up the nozzlers right now. We're gonna shoot a magazine full. One thing I can tell you for sure, right now with just the shooting that I've done, you're gonna go through a lot of air. So you either buy a pump and you do a lot of pumping, or you get a scuba tank, but plan on going through a lot of air. All right, we're gonna shoot at the right-handed target. And remember, I know I'm gonna shoot low, so we're going just for a group here. You can even hear that that hits a lot harder. The gun actually recoils a little bit more shooting these because you're having a tighter, it's fitting tighter in the barrel. So I would expect it's gonna shoot better. Wow, you can really see these pellets in the air. That's pretty friggin' cool. Even pushing them in, you can feel they're seating in there so much better. Man, I really hope JSB or somebody comes out, or even Crossman would come out with a pellet that we could shoot economically out of this gun. All right, that's it, guys. Let's take a walk down there and see what we got going on. Definitely after shooting that last group with the nozzler bullets, they just feel, they go in the gun better. The gun's recoiling back a little bit more. There's not a lot of gas escaping. So imagine the JSB pellets with the air escaping out around them and actually getting ahead of them. The pellet is probably coming out of the gun a little bit wobbly, and that's why we're not getting as tight a group as I'd like. At 100 yards, it's a great group, but you know, it's not a, you're not gonna be shooting coyotes in the head. And the pellet's too small for deer hunting, so I'm okay with that. And like I said, I think I'm gonna go to 50 yards and see what it'll do and give you an honest opinion. And, you know, maybe it's gonna be 50-yard gun with the JSBs. I definitely want to get this thing rocking and rolling. I want to go take an alligator with it for sure. Better. Still not as tight as I'd want it. And then here's the other thing, guys. This is right out of the box. I'll shoot this gun a bunch more, and I'll come back and I'll do an update video. Because we're going to season the barrel, it's just going to get better. So here we are with the JSBs. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Dropped one down here low as 5. Not very good. So it's definitely not a 100-yard gun. But then we shoot these 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 3 here. I think I can do better than that once I get the barrel seasoned up. Definitely a 100-yard deer gun. Coyote gun with the nozzler bullets, a little more expensive to shoot. But from what I know of pellet guns, once I get that barrel seasoned up, I get 500 rounds through it, it's going to be a lot better, trust me. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to fill up. We already got a bench right there at 50 yards, so it wouldn't be nothing. And we shot low with the nozzler bullets, so we'll shoot at the target on the right. Let me go get the gun, fill it with air, load her up with JSBs, and we'll see what we can do at 50 yards, and then we'll wrap this whole thing up. All right, guys, here it is, 50 yards. And then I'm going to talk to you about something. I think I'm going to do a little bit more shooting here. I'm going to go back to the 100. I got some ideas. I thought about this, and I was kind of off track with the pellet guns, and I'm, you know, some things come back to me, and we'll talk after I shoot these 5 shots right here. Holy crap, that hits hard at this close range. Not in the target though. But that's okay, we're just shooting for a group. We're not changing anything. Man, that thing shoots hard. All right, guys, here we go. We'll go check this out. But let me tell you, my Marauder shoots way better between 25 and 2700 PSI than it does at 3000. Remember that last shot I took at 100 yards with a JSB pellet? That was in the bullseye. And that, I looked at the gun, and I was at about 2500. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back, after we look at these, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna fill the gun up to 2700, and I'm not gonna let it go below 2500. I'll probably get 2 shots. And the same thing here. You know, this gun is gonna shoot good at 25 to 27 PSI, 700. Because here's the deal. Here's my group at 50. I got 3 right here almost touching, I got 2 here. I need to shoot at a consistent air pressure, and I think this gun will be a badass gun with the JSBs at 50 yards. Here, when I shot the nozzlers, here you go, I got a group of 3 and a group of 2. That's really the first 2 shots close, then the air pressure drops, and then it delivers 3 more shots in a spot. So anyways, let me go back, let me do that. I'm gonna tell you how it is. I might show you some shot groups. I don't know how I'm gonna handle all that, but I'm gonna tinker with it a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give you my honest, redneck, average guy opinion of the Bulldog. All right, guys, here it is. I did a little more shooting. I'm a little bit more impressed. I'm not doing cartwheels, but I'm a little more impressed. So I'll give you the skinny on the whole gun, and we'll talk about what I did to make it shoot a little bit better, especially at 50 and 100 yards. So as you guys all seen, 25 yards with the JSBs, it's friggin' amazing. You shoot sparrows all day at 25 yards with this gun, and you would have no problem. You're just gonna go through a lot of air. The gun is a little bit loud. It's plastic, so the sound really of everything happening in the gun kind of resonates out of the gun. As far as the gun being loud because of the air in the pellet, moderate. But the gun is not for backyard plinking, so that's that. Then like I said, so now we go to the 50 yard. I shot 3000 PSI, and the gun performed pretty good. Not great. We had 2 or 3 shots here, 2 or 3 shots down lower, touching each other, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the nozzler. So what I did was I came back, put the gun at 2700 PSI. Shot 3 times. These were pretty damn good. Lowered it down to 2,500 PSI, shot 3 times. It was better. Shot 2,700 PSI with the nozzlers. Psh, amazing. Shot right there. So at 3,000, I think I'm getting a little too much pressure. It's probably wobbling that pellet a little bit out of the barrel, and it's not getting the performance we want. Come back to 100 yards. If you're shooting the nozzlers, they shoot pretty good at 100 yards. Definitely a 100-yard deer gun at 3,000 PSI, but if you knock it down to a 2,700 and shoot twice, way better. Third shot drops a little bit low, but that's okay. You're still in there. If you go to 3,000 PSI at 100 yards with the JSB, it's all over the place. It's really bad. I mean, you're looking at a 6-inch group. So what I did was I dropped it to 2,700, a little better, not too happy. Dropped it to 2,500, shot twice, and I could keep it within two inches. So if you want to keep filling your gun and you want to do that, you're going to get 100 yards with the cheaper JSB pellets. It just is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. They're 35 caliber. We're missing the .007 on it. You know, when you put these in, they're 35 caliber. They're made for this gun, the nozzlers. They seat in the gun so much better. You can feel a little bit more recoil on the gun. The air's not escaping around the pellet. It's not making the pellet wobble, and it is what it is. So that being said, where does this gun stand in the marketplace? High-end pellet gun guys, do not waste your money on this gun. You are not going to be happy for what it does, and you are just going to talk bad about the gun. And the average guy, the slightly above average guy, or the guy that's just getting into pellet guns, or the guy that wants to buy this and maybe hunt a deer with it or hunt a hog with it or something like that, won't buy this gun. But this gun is made for doing that. And it will do a freaking amazing job if you're hunting hogs and stuff like that, or you just want something a little bit more than the average pellet gun to do what you want it to do. For the straight up average guy, it's a toss-up. I mean, I would buy the gun. I would spend the money on the gun, and you will definitely learn about pellets. But you're going to have to get a scuba tank pumping this thing up. For the average guy that's going to be doing a lot of target shooting, is going to wear you out, and you're going to go through a lot of air. For the guy just getting into it, I'd say hold off on this purchase right here. You might get into it a little bit down the road. Buy the Marauder. You're going to be much more happy. You're going to enjoy the gun much, much more. And that's where it is, guys. That's my honest opinion about the Bulldog. I know that it's going to get better. You're going to see videos up and coming with it because I love the gun. I love the way it shoots. I know how my Rogue is, and my Rogue I've probably shot a couple thousand times, and my Rogue will outshoot this gun right here. But my Rogue is seasoned and everything else, and I don't really remember how it shot when it was new, and I'm sure I had to season the barrel. So give me a couple of months, maybe a year with this gun right here, and getting you know, 1,000 rounds through it, 1,000 pellets, and then I'll tell you what I really think of it. But out of the box, great gun, man. I enjoy shooting it. I'm going to shoot it some more, and we'll be back with more pellet gun reviews.